It's the start of a new year, which means it's time for that compulsory motivational goal achieving talk. So sit down, buckle up, and get ready to be inspired. Do you ever feel a little bit like you've hit a lull with your work? Or you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed with how much you've got to do? You're not alone. I'm a professional artist and I feel like that pretty much every day. I thought it would be helpful for you guys to talk about some of my experiences and discuss some of the things that might be preventing you from being as successful in your art as you can be. The first thing is going to be about setting goals. It's really important to have a set of long-term goals. What do you hope to achieve with your art career? Is it becoming a successful illustrator, having your work in galleries, or just getting better at drawing and painting so things look a little bit less like some kind of malformed potato? Setting yourself a long-term goal is going to give you something to aim towards and help motivate you to stay on track with the work that you're doing. I've set myself some long-term goals for this year, and they are to develop a closer relationship with my collectors and followers, try to share a little bit more of myself in my work, and develop a set of constant pieces that all walk towards a single theme, rather than that hodgepodge of willy-nilly random animals that I usually just create. This thing about setting goals is also pretty on topic with New Year's resolutions and everything. If you're like me, you'll have an idea of what you want to achieve, and come the 1st of January, you have a mad panic about trying to get everything done as soon as humanly possible. And I mean, speaking from experience, that is definitely not a strategy I would recommend. Instead, I've started to learn to break my goals into smaller, more manageable chunks. I created a list of 5 things that I want to achieve. I start with my absolute ideal hope of where I'd like to be in 5 years' time. I then think about what my halfway point between there and now might be. So for me, maybe in 5 years, I would like my work to be sold in galleries around the world. That's just an example, you could have something different. Aim high, don't sell yourself short, and then for that one, halfway might be something like getting your art into 1 or 2 local galleries and having a small exhibition. That now becomes my 2-year goal. So what I'd like to achieve 2 years from now. I then ask myself, what would I need to be able to achieve this? So for galleries, you'd need a strong body of consistent work. You'd need exposure and contacts in the art world. And you'd need at least some sort of demand for your work that the galleries are going to be able to profit from. These then become my 3 main goals for this year. So 1, produce a high quality series of work. 2, gain exposure and contacts in the art world. And 3, increase the sales of my art. Now, if you try and do all of these 3 things at once, you're just going to end up juggling a load of stuff and you'll probably not succeed in any of them. You'll just end up stressing yourself out, and most likely you're going to lose the motivation to continue and develop your work. We just need to focus on one small section at a time. So let's take goal 3 as an example, increasing your sales. What are 5 things that you could be doing over the year to try and do this? It might be things like designing a website, or building an Etsy shop, posting your art to more places, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. It could be building better relationships with your followers, trying to turn followers into potential buyers, or even improving the way that you communicate with those potential buyers. All of those things are small, manageable tasks that when added together form the building blocks to achieve that successful goal of selling more of your art. So you've got your goals in place, you've broken them up into manageable chunks, but unfortunately it's not always that easy. There might be just a few small things that are holding you back from achieving your art goals. It's going to be different for everyone, but here are some of the things that have held me back over the years, things that sort of limited my progression. The first is about perfectionism. Don't try and be absolutely perfect with everything you do. I used to get an idea in my head for a painting and just jump straight into it. I wanted everything I did to be towards completing a finished, saleable piece. What that actually led to was hours and hours of trying to correct things and adjust things so that they were absolutely perfect. You need to make sure that you allow yourself to create less than perfect work. Give yourself that time to do studies and make plans and make small rough sketches of different compositions or proportions. Making those much less than perfect creations is going to save you so much time in the long run. They allow you to plan a route for your artwork. It's like, this is where we're going from A to B and how we're going to get there. They provide you with a plan and experiences that will overall massively increase the efficiency but also the quality of your work. Don't be afraid to use references either. Most of the work that I do is representational of life. I aim for realism. I need to study, observe, and learn from reference to create quality pieces of work. That doesn't mean copy a photograph exactly. It just means take information from life that you can transfer to your work. And then finally, don't try and compare yourself to other people. Everyone is unique. You're unique. You will never be able to create the same artwork as somebody else. So stop trying to, and stop beating yourself up when your work doesn't look like theirs. The only person that you should be comparing yourself to is you. It's fine to be inspired by other people. It's fine to admire their work. And it's fine to sort of strive towards similar techniques. But when it comes to actually assessing the quality of your own work, you should only be thinking about your own work. Look back at the work you created 3 years ago and compare it to something similar that you made now. Can you see the improvements? Can you see that combination of all the practice and all the experiences that you've gained in the last 3 years? More often than not, you're going to be able to see huge improvements in the work that you do now, and not only does it stop you from feeling bad about not being as good as someone else, but it also gives you a positive boost and inspires you to continue creating once you've seen just how far you've actually come. I'm always trying to improve my work and create better and better pieces with each artwork that I make. This video talks about understanding light and shadow and how it was a game changer that pretty much instantly improved the quality of my work. Hopefully this video has given you something to think about and maybe earned a like and subscribe. Good luck with your own art, and as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.